Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Cody Jones, and today I'm going to be doing another artist review. And I'm actually very interested to talk about this one because before I did the Eminem video, I asked a few people which one they would prefer me to do, either Eminem or Snoop Dogg. And honestly, I was excited to do either one. But obviously, if you look at my channel, I did do a rank and review of Eminem's music. But honestly, I'm actually very interested to talk about this one because this dude, Calvin Brodus, aka Snoop Dogg, is one of the biggest MCs in the West Coast, who officially got his start with Dr. Dre when he welcomed him into the label Death Row Records. And honestly, Death Row is one of the things that created a bunch of legendary names and a bunch of historical albums like All Eyes on Me, Doggy Style, and The Chronic. And obviously, I might even do one for Pac because I think it would be very interesting to rank and review his music as well. But I might save that for another time. I don't really know when I'm going to be doing it, but I will certainly do it soon. But other than that, let's just get it cracking. Now, sadly, it's a little disappointing that Doggy Style is not available on any streaming services, and neither is The Chronic. But I will do a rank and review of it nonetheless, because I've heard Doggy Style so many fucking times before. And honestly, because it is a classic album, one of the dopest albums that ever introduced Snoop Dogg, I'm giving that shit a 5 out of 5. And that shit was historical, you know? It really, like, created that sound that everyone knows now. And then with the 1998 album, The Game Is To Be Sold, Not To Be Told, I'm not really sure about this album. I haven't really heard a lot of it. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever discovered this album. So we're not going to be talking about this one. There's going to be a few albums I'm not going to be even discussing because there's so many albums that he's done that I've never even discovered. It's now the 1999 No Limit Top Dog. This was when he and Master P created the label Top Dog Records or No Limit Records or something. And obviously, this one was really awesome because I even have the disc and everything. And this album, I guess I can give this one a 7 out of 10. Because there was a bunch of good songs, including Buckham with Sticky Fingers, My Heat Goes Boom, Snoopafella, and Bitch Please, which happens to be one of the most legendary songs that Snoop has done. So I'm giving that one a 7 out of 10. And then Paid the Cost to Be the Boss. This one I wasn't really digging all that much. I've heard it before and I wasn't really feeling it. But there was a song on it that I enjoyed, which was called Pimp Slapped, which was, from what I heard before, is a subliminal diss track to Suge Knight and to either Daz or Corrupt, because when this came out, Corrupt also did drop a diss song towards Daz and Snoop. So it was a subliminal diss to both Suge and Corrupt. But on that, this album wasn't really all that, so I'm gonna give this shit a 1 out of 10. I mean, it was pretty garbage in my opinion. And then the 2006 album, The Blue Carpet Treatment. This one is a fucking 10 out of 10 straight up for me because it was fucking amazing through and through. I enjoyed the entire thing. It was actually the very first album that I've actually. It was the first album that I've heard that introduced me to who Snoop Dogg was. And I guess I accidentally forgot the 2000s album Last Meal. This one is a another 8 out of 10 because there were so many awesome songs on this shit. Like Lay Low and Break Fluid, Issues, and Hennessy and Buddha, Go Away. Like there was a lot of really amazing songs on this, and I think this was the album that introduced the rapper Cocaine. But on that, this album was another huge hit for me, but didn't do as well as the No Limit or the Doggy Style or the Blue Carpet Treatment. Those albums are like 10 out of 10 in my opinion. And then the 2009 album Malice in Wonderland, another flop for me. Not really that many good songs on it, but there was one good song that I did like, which was the song Secrets featuring Cocaine. This one was another like big deal album that actually kind of disappointed a few people. So I was not really feeling it as well. And then the 2011 album, The Documentary. This one I think was actually very dope, especially because it was recorded and produced by the iconic DJ Quick. This one was, it was a little bit like, I guess his album was huge, but it wasn't really all that great as well. I mean, there were some songs I was digging, but not a whole lot. I mean, it was pretty decent. So I'm gonna give this one a 5.5, or maybe even a 6. It was cool and everything, but it didn't really have that like iconic gangster sound. You know, it's like over the years, Snoop has gotten soft with some of his songs, and not many of them were all that great. You know, I wasn't really fucking with it. And then another 2011 album came out, which was amazing because it was the high school album, Mac and Devin Go to High School, the Netflix movie with him and Wiz Khalifa. This one was a bit more of a success, especially with one of the biggest songs, That Good, French and Ham, and Young, Wild and Free. This song, it was amazing. Both of them were really good, but the movie was hilarious through and through. I thought it was enjoyable to watch. And then 2015, Snoop released the album Bush. Again, didn't really care for it, except the song California Roll with Stevie Wonder. And Peaches and Cream featuring Charlie Wilson. Not really that many good songs on this as well. It seems like a lot of his albums haven't really been that great. And then the 2016 album Kool-Aid, this one was a bit of a flop for me. I mean, there was only one song that I thought was pretty good, and it was I'm I'm not gonna look through it. I'm not gonna fucking scroll through the whole thing. But there was one song that I did like though. I think it was the one with uh with Too Short. I thought it was a pretty decent song, but the album itself wasn't really that great. And then the 2017 album Never Left. This one was a huge deal, very enormous in 2017. I was actually excited when I discovered it, when I heard a first of, like, when I heard a first few songs of it, like Promise You This, Trash Bags, and Mount Cushmore, featuring Redman, Method Man, and Be Real. This song, this album, this one almost came close to topping the album Blue Carpet Treatment. There were some that were a bit of a hit and miss, but this album was nonetheless enjoyable beginning to end. It was it was really sick, and even the fucking cover style, like the way it looks, it was pretty cool, because it really had that like young Snoop look. But this album, it was amazing either way. So I'm gonna give this one a 8 out of 10, not 8.5 out of 10. This one was enormous. Make America Crip Again, not really that great. A huge hit and miss, but there was a song that I thought was dope, which was Three's Company, featuring Chris Brown and OT Genesis. This one was probably the only song that was enjoyable. And then the 2019 album, I Want to Thank Me. This one was another one that was pretty good. It was enjoyable, and especially with the songs Let Bygones Be Bygones, when he talked about squashing his beef with Suge. And then One Crip, One Blood, One Cuz featuring DJ Bowcat. The Countdown featuring Swizz Beats. I See Your Bullshit, Take Me Away. And one of the other biggest songs, really, that paid homage and respect to the late Nate Dogg, Wintertime in June. This one was a major deal. But I guess the I Want to Thank Me album is, I'm probably going to give it a 7.5, a 6.5, maybe a 6, because it was cool, it was enjoyable, but it wasn't really the. On it. It was dope, but not the best. And then the 2021 album, From the Streets to the Suites, this one was enormous, especially when like he was teasing the Eminem diss, like Talk That Shit to Me featuring Cocaine. This one was a huge deal. Like I kept hearing the same like uh 10-second teases that he dropped on Instagram. It's like I was really feeling it, and it really had a good sound. I was really loving the hook and everything. Talk That Shit to Me was one of the dopest songs on this album, and honestly, I was hoping for a bit more better diss to Eminem, but clearly Eminem did win that beef, and it was enjoyable through and through anyways. But other than that, this album was, it, it was pretty decent, including the song Roaches in My Ashtray. So I'm going to give this one a 5 out as well. And then the album, Snoop Dogg Presents The Algorithm, the Global Edition. I'm not even going to fucking rate or review it because, honestly, this one was pretty garbage in my opinion. And then the 2022 album, BODR, which stands for Back on Death Row. This one was iconic because this came out right after Snoop Dogg bought Death Row Records. And it was enormous. And this one really brought back that doggy style sound to it. And this one, I'm probably going to give this shit a 9 out of 10. Because there were some that were pretty decent, but there was a lot of them that were dope, including the song Doggy Stylin', which is probably one of my most played songs on it because I loved the way that it sounded. I loved the chorus and everything. The whole thing was amazing. And then another 22 album, Metaverse, the NFT dropped Volume 1 and Volume 2. These ones were kind of a hit and miss. Like, both of them were decent. So I'm going to give the Metaverse albums altogether another 5 out of 10. It was cool and everything, but it wasn't really all that great. And then another 22 album, 2020, yeah, another 2022 album, Snoop Dogg presents Death Row Summer. This one, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 because it was interesting, but it had a lot of like soft music in it. You know, it's like if I wanted to listen to some oldies or anything, I would have just gone to my oldies. But I was not really feeling this one. I mean, I dig the cover and everything. There were some songs that were pretty dope, including the songs with the Dog Pound and Butch Cassidy, the East Siders, and Whoop De Whoop, which was another song with the Dog Pound. This one was pretty decent. I enjoyed it, but not really that many songs that were good to hear anyways. You know, it's like I just didn't really care for it all that much. And the last album I'm going to be reviewing is Snoop Cube 40 Short, which I already did a review for. So, other than that, um, that's my review of Snoop's albums. I think that Snoop can do a whole lot better, including when he's making music. Like, if he brought back the Doggy Style and the Chronic, that'd be even greater, you know? But what I do recommend as a fan and a listener of hip hop is if he went back to his old ways and bring back that Doggy Style sound. You know, it's like that is the best Snoop in my opinion, because it was amazing to hear from the very first song to the very last. But other than that, I mean, I cannot deny the fact that Snoop is still one of the dopest MCs of our time. And I got a lot of respect for the dude. And it's cool because he's also doing a lot of great things, like creating serials with Master P, and he's doing TV shows with Martha Stewart and acting and everything, you know. It is really awesome that he's doing some really cool entrepreneurship. But it would be great if he brought back that Doggy Style sound again, or that Back on Death Row sound again. But other than that, I mean, that's my review to Snoop Dogg. Again, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Also, let me know what you think. Tell me what your favorite album is, and I'll see you in the next one.